Welcome to a new Let's Play, everybody! This is Aggressive Inline on Game Boy Advanced. Oh boy. Alright, so this is by Full Fat, and it's also published by Acclaim. And, as you can hear, there's some music going on. There's also, that sound effect going on. I'm gonna turn the music off because one of the good things about this game is that even though it's bit crushed, it does try to play the actual music. So we do get the full music, but the bad news is that I can't play the music because it's copyrighted. So yeah, I can't play the actual songs because it's basically the same songs in the actual game, and they sound pretty much similar. So YouTube would catch that and fuck me over for that. By the way, here are all the characters, which all don't look that great, but hey, whatever. They'll have their own stats and such. I'm going to use the first character. I'm not going to bother with all the characters, especially since it's actually a one-off sort of game, essentially. And you'll see why. So let's begin with F. Morales. Yo, you can't skate here. These streets belong to me, Kevin Keane. You've got guts, I'll give you that, but have you got skill? Also, the character designs are just great, huh? I'm going to set you some challenges. I'll tell you how much I want you to complete before I let you pass. Oh, and you gotta have to beat the top score, too. Also, for every 2,000 points over the top score, you'll get a time bonus next level. Let's see what you got, kid. You'll be getting these a lot. So, the challenges right now are Ignite the Rings, the Cone Slalom, collect 5 tokens, and the top score. Get 1 challenge to top score to actually complete the thing. Here's Hometown Backyard. I'm going to do the cones first. Right, so this is the game. I mean, so far it looks good. I mean, graphically it looks pretty neat. And, you know, the animation's pretty cool. For the most part, the game is fine. I mean, yeah, it looks a bit jittery right now, but, that's essentially just my recording, unfortunately. It's not gonna be very clean. However, for the most part, the game is pretty good in how it looks. However, the control aspect is bad. To give you a little, you know, idea of how the controls are like, if you want to do any kind of trick, you would need to essentially press an arrow button, like one of the D-pads, and then press the button corresponding for it, which would be, I believe it was A? No, it was... Yeah, it was A. You would press that after pressing an arrow when you do it. And of course it has all the other button paths, you know, up, down, down, up, right, up, left, all that stuff for different tricks. Those are still around as well. There's a lot of variations for tricks. You also still have your pole vaults and, you know, your horizontal pole vaulting and your grinds, which, by the way, you might notice that the bar there says grind. That's essentially a balance. There's no manuals, by the way. You can't manual in this game. But you can grind. However, instead of having like a special tricks and such, instead what you have is the grind bar, which you can fill up by doing tricks and such, but it will decrease when you do pole swings and when you do grinds and such. Basically, in order to keep this going and to not bail every time you grind, you need to do tricks alongside this, so, you know, banana splits and such. So, yeah, you gotta do a whole bunch of stuff to keep the bar going, or else you will bail every time you try to do a grind. And that will go all the way down to very low if you bail yourself, like that. Which it's very easy to bail because it is not easy to figure out where the fuck you need to go. By the way, I miss Ignite the Rings. We're not doing Ignite the Rings, because unfortunately the game will not let you actually do all the goals. It just brings you to the next level by force. You can check the stats, which I did get a stat upgrade there. You have to get them out by collecting them. And you can do also the replay thing. I'm not going to bother with that. Let's continue on, shall we? Okay, now let's see some street action. You gotta get the challenges. Beat my top score, get to the end of the street in under 2 minutes, and do it with style. Right, this one. What this game likes to do, by the way, 5 tokens, the cones, and smash the bins. Now we gotta find breakables and break them. So, Wayward Street. This is essentially a very long hallway of a path, and at the very end, there are some yellow stripes. That is the finish line. What this game really likes doing is not only making you complete, like, a certain goal and then, you know, beat the top score and such before time runs out, it also wants you to get to the finish line before time runs out. The thing is, you're going through this blindly, so you have no idea what the objectives are, you don't know where everything is, you don't know how to get everything, you only have like 2 minutes to do this shit. And, by the way, the cones here, you only get 1 chance of them. If you hit any of the cones once, or if you don't even bother to do it immediately when you see it, you can't do them. The game will never register it. So, you have to do them as soon as you fucking see them, or else you're never completing the cone solemn, and you have to do another run for that. And, oh boy. The fucking runs. Okay, so here's the thing that's really shitty about this. I told you beforehand that you can't, you know, do the thing again. You can't, like, go through and redo any of the goals you haven't done yet for a run. How you just get put right to the next level, and you're just made to completely ignore it. It is essentially impossible to complete this game because there is no way to save progression in this game. I'm not joking about that. This was basically made and published 2002. At this point, GBA games have a save feature, or at least a password feature. This game has neither. How you get your progress back, in a sense, is by cheat codes. Oh, but there's the finish line. You'll see the cheat codes later on, but yeah. I completed 2 of them. I only need to complete 1 of them, but yeah, I completed as much as I wanted to. And continuing on. Right, let's see if you can cut it in the garden. I skate here all the time, so you're gonna have to be really smooth if you want to impress me, or you gotta cross the finish line. This game loves the finish line thing. It loves having levels that are just a long fucking hallway. Oh, by the way, no slalom, but it has all the other stuff. And 10,000 points now. The points will start getting pretty big. And it does get kind of awkward to actually get the points you need. But, yeah, for the most part, like... the goals will be your main issue. And, just looking around, trying to find the stuff, it's not going to be easy for you to handle it. The biggest issue comes down to the fact you're doing it blindly, and you have no idea how to get this shit done. And you are made to do this pretty much in 2 minutes. However, as said beforehand, for every 2,000 points over the top score, it does give you additional time. It gives you a second of additional time every 2,000 points. And then it maxes out at 30 seconds. The maximum time this game is going to give you is 2 minutes 30 seconds. If you can get the score high enough for that. So, that's kind of shitty because eventually things start getting so long and so hectic, it can become literally impossible for you to actually complete everything in one run. I'm not joking about that. I'm really not. It can legitimately become impossible for you to actually complete every single goal in one run. The good news is that the game does give you mercy in this regard, because every time you actually complete something and you failed the run essentially, the objective is saved. You don't have to redo it, it is saved entirely. You just have to do what you need to do afterwards. However, you only have a finite amount of runs. By the way, I did the thing, and there you go. Yes, you only have a finite amount of runs. And by the way, here it is. Actually, I got a lot of points, and I only get 26 seconds. So, yeah, a lot of points needed for that. Wah, phew, you're not the man. I thought I was busted for sure. This place is wicked. Try the high rails, they rock. The character design's just fantastic. Smash the boxes and do 3 gaps. There are quote-unquote gaps in this game. Only in certain levels, and only for certain bits. I honestly can't do the gaps in this one. The gaps are obviously to jump over across these ramps up there, and to also jump across these spots here from the grinds. However, the grinds suck. The grinds suck because of their speed. The speed never speeds up, really. You can't really gain speed from this shit. And it's always dictated speed. Meaning the game is always going to cap you at a certain speed when it comes to grinding. It is never going to go faster than that. You can try to force it. You can only go so fast, so before the game just fucks you. Also, this game is buggy. Also, you can ride backwards, but it is buggy because these ramps here, the game has a hard time even figuring out how to work the ramps. Sometimes you can just bail from just riding up to the very top of the ramp and not jumping. Like, usually you would just, you know, get a small bit of air from doing that. No, the game would just crash you that way. Also, the emulator does have moments where it just, kind of freezes on me. This game does not run exactly the best on this game. However, even it does run pretty much as exact as it should be. And, it's not good. It's just not good to play. But yeah, the game is buggy in basically how it plays. It is buggy in how it controls. It is buggy in essentially what it wants from you. You might have been noticing that every now and then, I kind of complete an objective. I complete like getting a thing or going for a ring, even though I jumped over it. Or I just completely missed it, essentially. The hit detection in this game is wonky as fuck. And, by the way, you want to do some grinds, you want to, like, go around and, you know, grind on stuff. Make sure you hit the grind button when you do a pole vault or just a normal grind. About the time you actually get to the spot. Because if you hold the grind button, it doesn't do shit. So there's that. You can't just, like, you know, hold the grind button if you want to, like, go for it. You have to hit the grind button pretty much as soon as you get close to these things. That's annoying. That's legitimately fucking annoying. By the way, we're getting ready for some more great dialogue here. This mole's cool and it's excellent blading, too. Look out for security and keep up. They'll be onto us if you haven't crossed the finish line in 2 minutes' time. Another finish line one. This time we have tokens, we have ignite the rings, and we have 5 signs to break. So now I have to go and look up the walls to find these signs. And, I mean, you can tell that I do get pretty close to them. It looks like I'm actually phasing through them, but I'm not breaking them. The hit detection is really weird because it wants you to hit it at certain spots, even if it's right above, right over the fucking thing when you're not even close to it. In fact, you can even hit the fucking thing without even being in its area. I have actually gotten, in one level, been able to hit an object when I'm not even anywhere near it. Like, it's in the very bottom right corner of the screen. I'm in the air way away from it, and it somehow registers it. Hit detection in this game is just fucked. And that's the same for grinding. Especially in this perspective, because in this perspective, it's really hard to actually judge how to grind. And usually in these sort of games, like Tony Hawk games, GBA, they do try to give you some kind of a lineup. They do try to give you something to work with to line yourself up so you're not completely lost on this shit. Not in this game. Even if you look at the shadows, it's really, really not helpful to look at the shadows and get from there, because the shadows don't help you that much either. Because sometimes you can get this shit when you're not even anywhere near the shadow. Oh, by the way, these stats, every level at least has 2 stat modifiers. I'm not getting all of them, because you don't have the time to do all of them. You don't have the time to do every goal. In a lot of these, you don't have time to do the goal in one run at least. However, even though I should be able to do this one fairly fine, I missed the sign. And also the game randomly just turns you while you jump. I'm not even hitting left or right. I'm not hitting the spin buttons. It's just randomly the game, when you jump in the air, will just spin you. No reason behind it. It just does. Also, the more you're in the air, you can notice that the slower in the air I get. My speed starts slowing down while I try to jump across shit. That becomes really fucking bad in certain levels, because they want you to traverse certain areas, and you just don't have the speed for it. It's really bad. Oh, by the way, I failed this run. I completed an objective, and I got the score. However, I failed the thing. And now I only have 3 retries, and the game is gonna insult me too. Damn, you nearly got us busted. That's the tamest one. But oh boy, does this game insult you. Oh, by the way, you might notice that I beat the top score, but just brought that back up. However, it, saw that I completed one of the other goals, and it kept that locked as completed. But the score, or is this the sign I missed? The score? Top score? No. No. If you want to actually beat this, you have to beat the top score in your current run, as well as beat a certain number of goals. Doesn't sound that bad, until you realize just how fucked game scores can be. Because of how buggy and awkward and shitty the controls are, it makes trying to even get big scores in this game a hassle. There are very little spots where you can get good amount of score. And the thing is, when you complete a goal, when you complete an objective, it actually counts towards your multiplier too. So, you saw I got the sign smash thing done, and you saw how much points that would usually give you, like about 6,000 points for completing the whole thing. If you were to, do it in a combo, like do another trick and such, that counts to your score, that counts to your multiplier. If you want to actually beat the scores later on, you need to utilize those scores that the goals give you. You need to utilize having a combo with being a goal in order to get a big enough score to complete the thing. But you also must get enough goals completed before it ends, or else that score you just got might as well not exist, because the game ain't counting it with the high score thing. It is only going to count for later on. And here's the shitty thing. If you're doing one of these ones where you have to get to a finish line, if you don't reach the finish line in time, even if you beat all the goals and the score, you don't beat it. The best thing about supersized moles, supersized escalators, lightning fast grinding action all the way to the exit, will you make it in under 1 minute? Yes, it's the only time the game is gonna make you do something in 1 fucking minute, and it's all just collecting a fucking token. And you have to get all the tokens. Now, you might have noticed that also wall rides. You can do wall rides in this game. You can't jump from wall rides. The wall rides are buggy as well. You can sometimes wall ride in the air. It's just really shit. But here's the thing. One of the tokens here requires you to get up to a rooftop. And in order to get up to that rooftop, you have to pole vault up here and then grind all this yellow railing all the way over to when you're over the rooftop and then drop down to grab it. You can't get this token any other fucking way. And here's the thing. The game never tells you how the controls work. Aggressive Inline, you know there's a tutorial in that game. It tells you how everything works, because the way the game works is very different to how most, if not a majority, of these sorts of extreme sports games work. It's very different in how it really plays out. So, it needs a tutorial. This game needs a tutorial because in order to actually gain speed on poles, you have to hold the button, which, drains out your grind, but usually in aggressive inline, you don't have to do that. Oh, by the way, I ran out of time. I didn't get to the finish line. There's a finish line at the end of this. I lost. Out of time. Objectives not completed. Out of fucking time. It's simple. Just grab the free tokens on your way down. Yeah, except for the second token. The second token is not fucking simple at all. The second token sucks. Because, since you don't know about how the game controls, you also don't know about the fact you can actually gain more speed from pole vaulting by holding down the button. I found that out by complete fucking accident, because aggressive inline, the normal game, pretty much you don't have to do that at all. In fact, it doesn't actually do anything if you hold it down. You just do it the once, then you go over. In this game, no, you have to hold to get more speed. And that can be an issue when you don't know how to do that. You don't even know that's how it works. Because at that point, you're just pole vaulting over and over and over again. You're wondering why you're not getting any more speed and such. Why you're not being able to get to that fucking rail over there. The game's trying to make you do something. It's not telling you. It's not making it obvious. Yo, what you kids doing down here? This is the big city where the big boys play. You think you can swim with the sharks? Good. Now follow me to the exit. Why is the trucker dude telling us what to do here? Why is everybody so fucking weird and cartoony? Oh wait, now I have to do bar to bar 4 times. So, that is a quote-unquote gap. It's more so just doing the pole vaulting at a certain point. By the way, I'm not joking when I say you have to do the slaloms immediately as soon as you see it. You see that stat point over there? If I was to just go ahead and do some grinds, get that stat point there, you know, upgrade my skater, if I then go back and try to do the slalom at that point, doesn't register. The game will just not even register me trying at that point. I have to retry the entire run and then do it as soon as I see the fucking cones in order to get it to register. And if I hit 1 cone, I failed the whole thing and I can't redo it. All of these, you can redo at the very least, except for cone slalom. You only get 1 shot each run, and you only have 3 runs. If you fail all 3 runs, you lose the entire thing and you have to wait to continue. You only have 3 continues. And here's where things get really bad, because when you use a continue, it restarts all of your goals, so you have to do all of them all over again. You only get 3 runs each time. There are some really hard objectives. If you beat a hard objective, but you fail to actually complete the whole thing in those 3 runs, and you have to continue, you have to do it again. And that can really suck. Also, big fucking score, 30 seconds. The maximum, it caps there, you can't get more time than that. Only 30 seconds extra. This used to be the main sewer outflow for the high street. They closed it down a while ago, and now it's my own private skate park. Why is a sewer your private skate park, mate? That's fucking weird. Also, here it is! If you want to look the levels up to this point, there's a cheat code for you to activate on the title screen. It's a fucking button prompt on the title screen cheat code. Also, 1-2 pipe transfer, I don't know how to do that. It is not obvious at fucking all what it wants me to do for that one goal. I tried transferring over these half pipes here. I tried grinding all the pipes around here. I tried doing so many fucking things here. It is not known at all what the game wants to do from that one. It's just bullshit. But you only have to do 2 objectives, not all 3 of them. So, I'm not doing the transfer one, I can do the other 2, which are breaking the pipes and gain all of these money tokens. The money tokens, they're fine, except for that one money token where I had to go over a big pipe area to actually get to it. I had to grind for that one, this one. Also, this pipe up here, this pipe up this corner over here, this is the buggy one. I just went through and did some grinding around the place during my initial recording, and I wasn't anywhere near it. I jumped way away from it. It was way over to the corner of the screen. It broke from that point. The hit detection is weird. Sometimes it can be very forgiving for some reason, and sometimes it can just be super exact and want you to do it in a specific way that is really fucking dumb. Also, it's really hard to judge where you're landing. It's also really hard to slow down, because you can't just stop. You can easily slide off everywhere, in every way. And it makes trying to get certain things, like that A there, that stat point there, it makes trying to get that a real pain in the ass. If you try to grind for it, you can't get it. If you try to land up onto it, you have to slow down. And slowing down is a real pain in the fucking ass, especially since the way this game works, that if you try to hold back to slow down and brake, you can't brake. It then starts making you go reversal. So, there's no brake button in this game, which means you can't slow down at any point to, you know, judge anything or be able to take your time on things, you know, be able to actually get to somewhere. You have to get on the go. Like, you have no choice. You can always get stuck in places, which is really fucked up. See what I mean about not being able to slow down? I do get the stat point, by the way. But yeah, it's just... It's so fucking bad. This place is one of the buggier areas, by the way. There you go. Okay, now we get to play topside. The bus to the beach leaves in 2 minutes at the end of the high street, and you'd better be on it. Yep, another fucking finish line one. You can notice that it's mainly those ones. Also, pole to pole and Smash the Machine. Smash the Machine's easy. Pole to pole confused the fuck out of me. Because it's just pole vaulting. At least, you think it's pole vaulting. But it's not. They want you to actually pole spin. Pole vaulting is called a bar. Your terminology fucking sucks, game. They're all poles. Why is horizontal pole vaulting a bar, but vertical pole swinging a fucking pole vault to you? A pole. I don't fucking get that. Also, it has to be a specific set of poles. It can't just be any poles. It has to be these specific poles right here. If your pole swings anywhere else, doesn't count. It only counts for these ones. It also has to be pole swings. It cannot be pole vaults. I tried. There you go. By the way, the rings, the fucking rings we can find, they're up on the rooftops and shit. You have to do a bunch of grinding for that, and it's really awkward and requires a lot of pole vaulting that requires you to jump over to specific pole vault spots, because you can easily jump over or under and completely miss the pole vaults entirely. Even though you are right directly up to it, if you're not exact with your direction of the pole vaulting, you can easily get fucked over for that. Also, my controller is fucked, so it disconnects every now and then, which sucks, and that can get quite annoying. But I do try to get around that anyway. Blade on the beach, the sun, the sea, and the cute honeys. I love this job. With the layers like a speeding star, and I got both. Have you? You have to get to the end on time. There's so much dialogue to get through. Kick the surf and collect 5 tokens and such. 40,000 points now. Kick the surf, just find some surfboards, knock them over. By the way, I have to do all of these essentially blind. Because not only are these goals only in this mode, so you can't just do them any now and then, but a lot of these levels are locked. You only get to do the first 3 levels normally. You have to unlock the rest of these with this mode here. So you have no idea what the layout of these levels are at all. You don't know what the game wants from you for these levels. You have to figure it out yourself, blindly, when you can barely see much of the map itself. And, by the way, your times, you have 2 minutes to know what the fuck you're doing for the whole thing. It's pretty fucking bad, eh? I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point, the GBA games didn't do this anymore. It didn't make you have to do this shit in a time. Also, no fucking GBA skating game I played makes you do a certain thing, like a certain amount of things, in a certain amount of runs with a set amount of continues before it game overs you. Usually you can save your progress and come back every now and then. This game you can't. You have to do everything in the one go. You can't quit at any point. Nor can you shut off your GBA console. This is my pop's yard. He's taking the Doberman to a dog show this weekend, so I'm taking the opportunity to practice without risking getting my butt bit. And yeah, there's the cheat code again. These are cheat codes, by the way. The game will even make it very apparent that these are cheat codes at the very end of the game. Also, knock over tires, all of them. We now have to do every objective. Now, Bob's Scrapyard, I can do every objective in one go. I can do every single one of these pretty much on the one run. Because the area is small, compact, and there's no finish line to worry about. I cannot say the same for the rest of this fucking game. Also, stat points. I can get everything in this level. This is the only level I can get everything in this level in one run. I literally can't do that in the rest of the game. And not only that, I can't even get all the objectives done in one run. I honestly find it near impossible to complete every objective in one run later on in this game. Because the objectives are so sprung out, and they require so much bullshit for so little time, and the levels are so fucking long, that it becomes near impossible to actually complete everything in one run in 2 minutes. Even for additional seconds, it's impossible to do it. So, yeah, for the most part, I hate to say it, you have to at least sacrifice a run or two to complete everything later on. Because it becomes legitimately impossible for you to actually complete everything later on in the game in one run. Which means you gotta deal with the game insulting you every fucking time. Oh, by the way, those cones there, you can fail that immediately. If you did it from the right side to the left, it doesn't count. You have to do the cones from left to right. Yes, you have to. If you do it right to left, it never registers. And guess what? It fails ya. So, yeah. When I found that out, I got mad. I got real fucking mad. And I spent 3 hours on this game beforehand. All the fun at the fair, cotton candy and hot dogs. You can do it, try grinding the roller coaster rails. This is a blast. Oi, it gets to the finish line on time. We gotta ignite the rings. We gotta free the balloons now. Oh boy, the balloons. Okay, so the balloons, you have to jump for them, and then they activate. They're your breakable, essentially. The hit spots for these balloons are fucking bad. Also, you can do wall taps. If you hold the wall tap, which you can, you'll bail. It's dumb. The wall taps are pretty much kind of useless. Also, I noticed there was some money there. I'm doing the money immediately, because that's the hardest goal in this one. You have to grind these spots, and you have to jump high and fast for them. Because remember, the game will slow down your jumps in midair for no good reason. So you really have to make a big and fast enough jump for this shit. It's so fucking bad. And that is the only way you can really get that shit, by the way. So, yeah, hate to say it, the money here is bullshit. And during a run-through I had beforehand, I wasted almost all of my continues on this level, and this is where I originally got a game over. Because of those money symbols. Actually, no, I got an original game over from the fucking token shit with the escalator level. This is where I got my second game over. And I got a third game over on the last level. We'll get to that. Because even during this entire fucking playthrough, which you're seeing right now, which is my successful playthrough, even that was a massive pain for me even now. Everything about how the levels are designed and, you know, how you do things is really shitty. The camera doesn't help you at all. The grinds are buggy. The way everything's lined up is bullshit sometimes. And the hit detection is also bullshit. Case in point, the balloons, we get to it. Ride the big wheel, kiddies. Loser restrictions apply. You can't ride unless you're less of a loser than this guy. See, the game is just really trying to call you a piece of shit for failing one fucking run. It only has 2 unique fail messages every time you fail a run. So yeah, if you fail, like, you know, on your 3rd run before your final one, you don't get anything new out of it. You get the 2nd message again. But yeah, by the way, that stat point there, I will get that. Don't worry, I will get that. I try getting it right now, I fucking can't. Even if a bar swing, I can't reach it. See? So yeah, I need to essentially do the whole grind thing now. I have to do it in a specific way. I have to do everything in specific fucking ways. For instance, the balloons. I have to get up to this track here, and then actually grind the track. Either if you grind the track normally, you lose all your speed. How does that make any fucking sense? I don't know, but it happens. And the thing is, it is a long rail because it's a long fucking level. And there are 2 balloons here. You might have noticed I missed that. I have to jump for it in a specific way like that. Same thing for this one right here. I missed it. I have to jump for it in a specific way. See? I got over the shadow too, but that didn't count. I have to do it from here, which is not where the shadow is. Again, the shadows do not help you in any way in this one. The balloons are the 2nd most annoying thing. The rings are the easiest. Even then, the rings can be kind of bullshit here, too. This is one of the worst levels in the fucking game, basically. In fact, the next level after this is another one of the worst levels in the fucking game. In fact, the last 3 levels, which these are the last 3 levels of the game, are the worst fucking levels in the game. They are the most buggy, they are the most broken, they are the most fucking unfair. Oh, and by the way, you see how I got the score right now, and you see how I'm really doing my best here to, you know, complete this shit? You can see how the rails are really fucky and shit. Head texture on the rails are very small and shit, so it's hard to really get the fucking rails themselves. I don't even have time to even get to the finish line. If you don't get to the finish line before time runs out, you fail. Even if you get to the... Oh, by the way, it would be fair to say you're not having much fun right now, huh? Fuck you, dude. By the way, you're probably thinking, what if you get to the finish line by the time runs out? Like, what if you actually hit the finish line even though time's run out? You still fail. You have to get to the finish line before time runs out. Even if you actually get to the finish line spot, at any point, even if you run out of time and you get to that finish line spot, it fails you still as out of time. It is very, very strict. And I know it's hard for me to really talk right now, considering I have to get through this shit as fast as possible, and considering I have to really talk about a lot of shit that's wrong with this fucking game as fast as possible in an hour. That's how fucking much this game hurts, alright? My mouth is running a marathon a mile right now to fucking try and get this shit said to you. And even just, like, looking at this shit gives me a fucking migraine. Look at that. You would think that's a grind over there. You would think I'll just grind over to the other side and that's it. No. There's no grind spot there. I have to jump over from the roof like that. And the thing is, remember the whole combo thing? I want to try and get this with a combo as well, so that I can actually, you know, get the score needed. Because it's a big score. 75,000 points. I forgot about the score here, because I was too busy trying to get the rings. Also, the game loves to push you on slopes. If you're on a slope at any point, the game will push you around. You can't just, like, be on a slope and then just be straight on it. Which means that if you try to land on it and all, it can be a real pain in the ass. Also, the fucking trick button didn't work. Again, I have to press a direction and then the B button. Same thing for grinding. Direction then grind. Even though there's not many grinds in this game. If I press the B or A button first and then a direction, nothing happens. Even though that's how it usually works in any of the other fucking GBA games, for the most part, not here. I'm pretty sure Razor Freestyle Scooter was like this as well. I can't remember very well, but I'm pretty sure it was like that as well. But even that fucking game, even Razor Freestyle Scooter, is a better game to play than this game. It is more fair to play in this game. So yeah. One retry left, I can see the same message. Now I have to get 75,000 points with no goal help. Every time you redo the same tricks and such, you lose more and more of your score on your base. If you want to get this done, you want to make sure to get your score immediately on a combo. And by the way, if I fail this run, if I don't get the score needed, and you know, actually complete the thing on time, you know, get to the finish line, I have to redo all the goals again. And I lose continue too. By the way, you're probably noticing that I'm not grinding much on these spots. Because I'm hitting the grind button, and sometimes the grind button just doesn't fucking want to work. Sometimes the character actually gets stuck doing a trick. His animation gets stuck. And the game thinks I'm still doing the air trick when I'm not. So I can't grind because of that. This only happens on certain tricks like the flying squirrel there. That's fucked. Oh, and by the way, the fucking roller coaster rail there, you know how the guy told you to use that? It's a big rail. If you try to grind backwards, the game forces you forwards. Unless you jump for it. Which is really awkward. But something that's worse, I grinded there, I did a normal grab there too for the grinds. Sometimes the rails here just don't want to exist and they don't work, so the grinds don't grind. I got lucky enough to get the fucking thing I needed though, and then my controller disconnected. Now I gotta get all the way to the finish line in 30 seconds, which I do make it there. But yeah, this level sucked. I hate it. I hated the money one so fucking much. And getting the score here sucks too. You can abuse the grind if the grind works for you. But even then, getting the score is a pain in the ass. I said send the clowns and I get you? Oh well, maybe you'll be as funny as to watch. Remember, I want you to cross the finish line on time. Dig it? On time! So now we have to free the balloons, ignite the rings, and bar-to-bar gap. A certain pole vaulting area. And 100,000 points, by the way. The highest is 150,000 points. I will get that. But with the need of goals. In fact, I will need at least one of these goals to complete the score one for this one. Because there's barely any spots to work with. I can use the fucking, the seats. I forgot what they're called, but I can use the seats over there on the very left to, like, grind on them constantly and do a bunch of tricks there. But even then, that's a real pain in the ass, and there are slopes there that can fuck up your thing and such, and there are just not that many good lines there to even work with either. So, you know, also this bar swing here, can you tell when to actually hit the bar swing? Can you tell where the spot is? Because I am hitting the fucking pole vault button every time, and it's not working. I do the normal swing, doesn't work. I do more of a swing, doesn't work. I go over it. I go under it on just the one swing. Basically, this pole vault here is pretty much impossible. And the way pole vaults work is bullshit. It is really, really not possible to be able to figure out when to let go of the fucking button. It is not obvious at all when you can pole vault again. It is such fucking shit. See? There's no middle ground to work with. I decided, fuck it, I use this grind instead to get the fucking stat point. I got more jump on me. And by the way, I failed this run. I just get the balloons and I end it there. I wanted to go ahead and take care of getting the rings, and here are the poles, by the way. Here's the bar to bar. I want to take care of those on the same run. I couldn't. Because the bar to bar sucks. Ever considered running away with the circus? You could help feed the lions as the main course. I fucking hate the dialogue here. I sincerely hate these characters. I hate the game belittling me every fucking failed run. And by the way, I hate getting the rings. The rings are the hardest to get. Because in order to get this one ring here, as well as this one stat point, you have to take these grinds here and do some jumps for them. However, as you have noticed, when I jump for it, I slow down in the middle of the air. And these are big jumps. I can barely get to them. And also, the jump button is delayed. I tried jumping so often, but the game would not fucking jump for me. And I would go over it, and there would be this weird thing where you just get a little bit of a tap in the air for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that was my shot. And then the control disconnected completely. I had to fucking fix that up real quickly. I need to get back here anyway to get this ring though. And yeah. Then came the second bullshit spot. I had to get to a pole vault area for the, the bar to bar. And the problem of that is that it requires me to use 2 grinds to get across to have enough speed and such. And then be very, very exact on where I'm going for this fucking jump here. If I want to get these poles, I have to be as exact as possible to actually get the spot it wants me to get for the pole vaulting. Otherwise, no pole vaulting for you. You'll either jump right over it, or you won't even make it. And these grinds, they curve eventually, so you have to jump immediately from a certain point, and with a certain speed too. It wants you to be so specific for this shit. I got the rings ignited at least, but yeah, I couldn't do it. Circus, you should be in the suckers. These insults suck, but I still feel so fucking irritated every time I see them. Because the game is so unfair. It is so bullshit to do all this shit. And the game just insults you every fucking time you fail these, even though it is nearly impossible to complete every goal in one fucking run at the time you're given. Especially with how bullshit the hit detection is, with how buggy the controls are, with how glitchy the game is. It's just fucked. The whole thing is just fucked. I even tried going backwards. There's a grind spot at the very end that's very, very close to the finish line. I tried going backwards for that, thinking that'd be easier. No. No, it wasn't. And look at this. I keep jumping over this shit. And by the way, that's a 1. That's not a 2, that's a 1 there. It's very easy to get confused on the font choices here to think that's a 2 instead of a 1. It's so fucking bad. It is so fucked, this entire game. It is so fucked, in fact, that in my original recording, I couldn't get save states working. They would not work at all. So, I got them working now, and I really, really could not complete this shit And I did not want to use continue and redo all of that shit again. So, I went ahead and I save stated. However, I never ended up using the save states really. Here I am, I'm using the save states now. Because there was no fucking way I was redoing all of this shit again. However, I then got kind of confused, so I wanted to do a quick save instead. And, yeah, I thought, is it going to overwrite the save, or is it a different save, like a quick save instead? No, it overwrites the save state. So, I lost the save state I made beforehand. You can see, because I just tried to load it. And, yeah. Still haven't really, like, reset my progress here, really. But then I get it. I get lucky right fucking there. And I had to get a specific amount of pole vaults to get over there, to not go over or under. And I got it. I got so fucking lucky at the very near end. And I managed it. And I made it. And I got a huge amount of score. Over 200,000 points. Only additional 30 seconds. I am now on the final level. I did a save state here. Because I did not want to do all of this shit all over again like I had to beforehand. By the way, here are my stats. These are kind of the end stats, essentially. This is where I beat your sorry behind. It's championship time. Let's see how badly you can lose. It's a championship, but not really. It's the same shit. Tokens, rings, smash some boxes, 150,000 points. It's Acclaim Games. It's a small area, but to actually get everything is a real pain in the ass. Because a lot of these grinds, a lot of these spots are bullshit to get to. For instance, there is one money sign that requires me to do very exact, precise pole vaulting. The easiest one is the boxes. I took care of them. I also took care of getting some stats as well. But yeah, there's the poles. I have to pole vault very precisely and exactly on distance and all in order to get across to get to a grind, in order to get this one fucking token. And by the way, here's the stat. A speed stat. And those are all the stat points. There were more that I did miss, but I can't go back and get them. So, fuck it. The game doesn't save your progress anyway. The game doesn't save your stats. It never saves any of your progress from here on out. So, yeah, fuck it. Look at that. That was not far enough. That pole swing, not good enough. I have to grind that rail there and then be able to grab that. I was trying to, at the very least, get to a certain spot and then pole vault from there. I couldn't do it. It's too high up. The hit spot for it is too fucking high up for that. The money is the hardest of the entire level here. If you can't get this exact, if you can't hit this precisely within the allotted time and get all the other money tokens as well, you're never going to beat this. This fucking token is bullshit. And another fucking token is bullshit, because it requires you to make a big jump over across some rails to get over to that money token. You can somewhat cheese it, though, by using those grinds instead to get around it, because that's how you get to it. But, oh man, like this token here that I'm going for, this is the worst one. It is so easy to miss these swings. So, I tried to do it later on. I rule! You're gonna really have to try harder if you want to stand a chance. Oh, I will, motherfucker. And if I want to get that score there, I have to use this. I have to use the goals. So, yeah, I'm making sure that at the very least, I don't lose here. And my immediate thing is to take care of this bar swing shit immediately. And guess what? I did it. I fucking got the hit. It's so fucking precise, but I got the bitch. I got the grind, and I got the motherfucker. I took care of the hardest collectible, and now I can handle the rest of this shit. But I have to do the rest of this shit in the 2 minutes I have left. I don't have that much time to really work for all this stuff. Because I have to get all the rings, I have to get all the tokens, and I have to get the score. I have to make sure I get all this score and shit in a combo so I can get a big enough score from the goals. Which I do. You see this grind here? It goes all the way around. Jump for this ring over here. That's how you get that one. And by the way, this is how you get these tokens too. This is what the stat point was. Look at that. Look at that. I beat the fucking bitch. Now I gotta get this one ring here and I'm done. And there are 2 ways to get the ring. I can either do it the regular way or do it the backwards way, essentially. The regular way is where I got that 1 token. Because you get a lot of speed for it, though, and get lucky, essentially. The backwards way is essentially grind the rail from the top of the top right spot there. Which is easier, honestly. Also, you have to transfer for that one. If you try to grind for it, if you try to go for that grind there, because like you have to do a grind to get that 1 ring, right? No. That grind is useless. You have to transfer for that ring. And also, trying to get this jump working is a pain in the ass. I could do it backwards. It would have been easier and more painless. But I want to do it the way the game wants me to do it. So, I did. It took me a lot of attempts, and I did do a save state because I did not want to lose this. I did not want to do this all over again. But I never needed to use the save states in the end, really. Because I did manage. On the last few seconds, I got the speed and the height needed. And I managed the last ring, and I did it. I beat the fucking game. No one that I could find has ever beaten this game. So here it is, folks. This is the ending of Aggressive Inline on Game Boy Advanced. You are fucking welcome. No additional time. Well, actually there is, but there's no point to it. Congratulations! You are the dude! Congratulations! Now you get these weird characters. You finished! Aggressive Inline on Game Boy Advance. Check out the new skaters. They're not that great. See if you can match some of these tricks and lines. I can't. You are so specific and shitty with your controls and such. I don't even want to fucking bother doing this shit. Fat Crew. Full Fat Productions. Yeah, fuck you, Full Fat. I fucking hate this game so much. Maths and Headaches. Andrew Docking. Here's the other character. Like a Superman character. It's broken. David Brioso Santos. How many polys? I mean, it looks good for a GBA game, but I don't care about the looks of it. The game really does suck. Marvin Reeve. Seen better. Really, dude? Really? Niall Russell. Here's the last... Actually, this is the character we haven't played as. We already have him. The Meister. You're not the fucking Meister. How is the game getting this speed, by the way? How is it getting this fucking height? That's not even possible to me. Tony Chen. The Ditchman. Why the Ditchman? What does that mean? Jamie Bamburo, King of the Arcade. Why does that matter? Is this really that arcadey to you? James Barnyard with a smiley face. Okay. Coffee's on. There's more credits afterwards, but yeah. Paul Adams. And the rest. Nothing for Paul Adams. And by the way, try out these cheats. This is how you unlock all your levels and all these skaters I've already unlocked on the title screen. Because you can't save your progress. You can't save any of this. if I was to, you know, close the emulator or restart my GBA handheld or what have you, I would lose everything. So if I want to actually keep my progress, I have to use the cheats. This is for all levels. And the other cheat code they're going to show, if that's not enough, is for all the skaters. Is to unlock these skaters here. So there you go. If you just want to experience the game, here are the cheat codes. Use them. I would not recommend you actually go and do arcade mode, really. I would not recommend you go through and do what I've gone through. So yeah, there you go. ... Good luck! I don't need it. I already beat your fucking game. So yeah, I mean, it looks good, the music's good, even though I had to mute it for copyright reasons, but I fucking hate this game. When it comes to GBA Extreme Sports games, this is the worst of all of them to me. It is the most buggy, the most unplayable, really, and honestly, the most bullshit and most unfun of all the GBA Extreme Sports games I played. No other Extreme Sports game has made me as fucking angry and upset as this game did. I hate this for fucking passion. And I was looking through to see if there's any more if I just repeat it. If I press A, it repeats everything through, it slides through all three of them. I have to press select. There's the actual credits, by the way. So yeah, this game sucked, and I fucking hate it. If you want to play it yourself, sure. But just know that this is painful. And you're gonna get confused, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna hate this game as much as I do. And you're not gonna have a fun time on it. You're not gonna have any kind of fun with this fucking game. Aggressive Inline normally is a fun and good game. This is garbage. This is fucking shit. So yeah, I'm gonna show off the levels, you know, just show off what they look like. And that's it. I'm not really gonna show off the other skaters. There you go, no pressure. It's just for scores. There's literally no point to playing this. It's just to explore levels, really. There are no goals here, so you can't even do the shit it wants you to do in the fucking main mode. And the finish lines, they don't work in this mode either. So yeah, free skate, just skate around, do whatever, have fun. You know, the controls suck. And yeah, all the way to Acclaim Games. And that's it. And also multiplayer if you want to play with friends, which you're never going to. So yeah, that's it. A one-off. This is getting the Game Boy treatment, you know, the Tony Hawk 1, 2, and 3 Game Boy treatment of this game sucks. I fucking hate it. I hope I never have to play it ever again. And guess what? Unlike those, I beat this one. So, that's it. That's the fucking game. I'm never playing this again. I fucking hate this game. I'm moving on to a different fucking game. One that's more fun and more fair. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time for a better fucking game.